Hello, friends. My name is Sergeant Host Eric, and I've got with me Officer Spacey NYC. He just cleared the in-house probationary paperwork period of the beginning of his time on the type police. This is his first time out on the beat. I've taken on this job of being like a trainer, I guess. You know, I don't have the title because then they'd have to give me a stipend, but basically they keep dumping all these new people on me. So, how have you liked it here? I mean, so far you've basically just seen the inside of the station, but how have you liked it so far?
It's not bad. A lot of interesting stuff going on. Just trying to keep up with everything.
Have you been flirting with Diana down in Human Resources? That's what I heard. I heard you've been trying to get on her.
I'm taking.
You're doing what now?
I'm taking, man. I'm taking. I can't be doing that.
Oh, you're taken. Oh, I thought you said you were taking. I thought you said you were taking, which I thought was a term of some sort of term of art that with which I was not familiar that referred to a technique one used to try to get a girl. But instead, you're taken, which is to say you are in a relationship. Now, I'm hoping, Officer Spacey NYC, I'm hoping that your true love, your lover, your significant other, is actually the type police. You are married to the job. Being the type police is a lot like being an NFL football player. You can't really have a lot of outside interests. It's got to be your life, your passion, your one true focus.
I got you.
Remember, that's why we're allowed to get away with domestic violence. Anyway, for the viewing audience, I'm sorry, I got distracted there talking to Officer Spacey NYC. I always like to give wise advice to the new recruits. So you're going to come along today to see how it is that we train the new recruits here on the Type Police, as well as to find out if someone Mr. Scandinavian somebody, we're going to find out if he truly is an INFJ on this episode of the Type Police. Try as you might, you just can't hide, 'cause you're mistyped. And I've been waiting to pull you over all night. Type police, please pull that guy over. He says he's INTP, but seems extroverted, sensing to me. I think he's ESFP or type police. Welcome back to Type Police. Officer Spacey NYC and I are going to be watching today a video called Meow Time Perception by Erik Thor. So I'm going to shrink this window down a little smaller, I think is wise, so I don't keep running afoul of processor problems. And then I'm going to bring up that video. Here it is on this screen here. And I'm going to shrink this window down a bit. So this one's not working properly. That's fine. Oh, there it goes. Good. Then I'm going to put it over us. Actually, I think what we should do is let's both of us turn off our cameras while we play the video. All right, here we go.
Name is Erik Thor, and earlier I saw a really interesting video on YouTube on INTJ and INFP copy on time perception and how we experience time. And time psychology is actually super fascinating because time, believe it or not, is one of the key stressors in our lives. Time affects us all psychologically, and our perception of time and our experience of time, how we use and perceive time, can affect how we experience our life and our general well-being and our own happiness and everything about our situation and our experience.
Our general well-being.
The thing about time and the time psychology is, the question is, can we even experience time? Do we even know that time is passing? I think in flow, when you're in a state of flow, time is not experienced at all, and I think that's the goal. To not have to think about time, and to not always have time hanging over your shoulder, to not always keep a clock on you wherever you're going, to not always know what time it is, to not always know what day it is. You know, in these times when you have a lot of holidays, during New Year's Eve, Christmas Day, all those things. I think it's
Pause. All right. So, my initial thought here is, look, it's the sunrise on a misty Christmas morn. That's what my camera's showing you right now. This is a sunrise on a misty. Oh wait, no, it's not. It was just the camera. Okay. So what he's doing right here is this is how I would describe it. He's doing any, but it's not like dominant any. So I would eliminate him from ENFP or ENTP, or I mean, my initial gut it would be a gut elimination. It wouldn't be a permanent one, but because it just doesn't feel like front side, or at least not first slot any. But it seems like he's doing extroverted intuition there. What do you think?
Now, yeah, why do you say extra intuition for that?
Well,
it's definitely intuition, but
it's because he's not executing any kind of script or he's not executing a script in the specifics. He's executing a organizational plan of a topic, and he's filling in between the organizational points with little bits of what I would call NI style NE. He goes, so I saw an interesting video the other day about time perception on INFP coffee and INFP and INFJ and INTJ coffee. Anyway, what I was saying was, generally, when I watch these videos, I think to myself, it's true that time is sometimes we get rid of it and it's a state of flow and we have no more time. We don't perceive it at all, and that's the goal, not to perceive it at all. He's kind of like rolling forward off of his last thing, kind of like riffing, But he has an organizational structure because this is about the limit of his NE. Is my expectation? Is my guess as to why it's like this.
So I see what you're saying. So it's like a focus. It's like if he's riffing, he's freestyling, but it's like a focus type of freestyle.
Yeah, the thing is, he's not saying anything. The only thing meaningful he said about time was that in a state of flow, time's not there, or you don't experience it. The thing is, most of everything else he's saying is too vague. If you want to talk about time, you have to talk about the fact that we deal with time in two ways, like with statuses and a turn-based approach in which things are binary and time is either before or after in the ordinal relationship, and it doesn't really matter the length of time. And then there's stuff that's happening in real time where it doesn't matter if there's only 4 seconds left on the clock. If you get your Hail Mary pass in, you can win the game still. It's going to have to take a duration of it less than 4 seconds, though. So, I don't think you can meaningfully talk about time perception without acknowledging or making a point, first and foremost, that time operates differently whether you're in a conditional universe of abstraction or the actual universe of physicality. Regardless, we're not here to critique his philosophical shortcomings. We're here to type him. Does he look like an INFJ to you?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. To me, he seems definitely along the FETI axis. He seems, it seems like he has good, like he has like good social presence, where he's aware of like social dynamics. Yeah, so far what I'm seeing is definitely intuition, and I'm seeing TIFE. I'm definitely not seeing TFI or anything like that. So,
What do you think about those eyebrows?
I don't know.
Does he groom them? Or are they naturally that tidy?
I don't know. That's up for debate.
I think he grooms them. Look, nobody naturally has that little hair in the middle above the nose. You know, everybody's got to pluck or shave that part. His is like baby bottom clean. I think he does a lot of. I think he does a lot of above eye grooming.
Yeah, possibly. It does look groomed, but I mean, it could be natural.
Do you think he's got his hair like that to try to hide his receding hairline?
I didn't even notice that until you just pointed it out.
All right, so Officer Spacey NYC, let's just focus back here on our training for a second. What you're looking at here is an individual who's claiming to be an INFJ. You should already have your cuffs in your hand just with that piece of knowledge. But right now, are you moving your cuffs closer to him or further away from him based on what you've seen?
Neither one.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. They trained you well in the what do they call that place where they train us? The academy, so they call it. The academy. The academy does great work. Okay, let's watch some more of him. We're resuming at 118.
Hard to know even what day it is, and I think that's the key. I think to not feel time on you as a burden. That is the key for all personalities and for all personalities. So I think that the different types perceive time differently and experience the flow of time differently. You know, some believe we only experience truly the present, that the present is the only real thing, that everything else is a fabrication. History cannot be reproduced accurately. We cannot accurately know what we did yesterday or what we did the day before that. The further back we go, the more distorted our perception of time becomes, and we remember things differently. We remember Mondays as lasting longer than Tuesdays, and we remember Sundays as being some of the longest days. We remember Fridays as passing by quickly. We remember Saturdays as small blurbs. You know, did we even have a Saturday? Where did it go? What did
Pause it. I'm pausing at 2:30 here about those things he's describing are not memories. He says we remember Sundays as lasting a long time, and Fridays as going by quickly. But those are NI perceptions. Those are not memories. General rules about Fridays are not memories.
Yeah, he's definitely speaking from it's definitely not specific. Like, it's very general. He's speaking in
See,
like change everything instead of specifics.
Well, I mean, I know it's just it could just be a semantics thing that's not meaning what it appears to mean, but it would seem to be very consistent with an NIDOM for them to be so disconnected from the particularism of their own knowledge that they call general rules about days of the week memories. Like, tell me something that happened to you one time, Eric Thor. You know, I came to realize one day that dogs in dog parks like to run around. That's not a memory.
Yeah, that's definitely not. Yeah. No. He's extremely generalized. Everything he's saying is extremely general. You gotta definitely mind it or not. So that's what I'm saying so far.
All right. Well, Officer Spacey NYC, look, I'm going to let you know this is one of those instances where we sort of stand down, because right now at this point, everything I'm hearing and seeing is consistent with INFJ. So we'll just sort of have a casual conversation with him. Now, if he should happen to put something in his hand, well, it could look like a mistyping. So just go ahead and shoot first, and we'll clean up the mess later, okay? Remember, something in his hand could be anything. And anything could be a gun, or even worse, a mistyping.
Way worse. Way worse.
All right. So remember, you're most likely to get busted here in the type police if you're out of uniform. Most other things you do, we can excuse it one way or the other. But if you're not wearing the proper uniform, you will get busted down, as I did. You know, I was briefly a lieutenant. I was, but one day I showed up without my hat on. What do you think they did? They demoted me back down to sergeant. So you got to take those dress codes rules seriously. Is that a force-approved hoodie? It is, isn't it? I hope so.
Yeah. This is a CC certified hoodie.
Okay. On the back of it, I'm assuming it says type police.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah. Don't bother showing us. We take your word for it. Yeah. Okay. Let's continue watching. Mr. doesn't know what a memory is.
Did we do with it at all? So our perception of time is very fragmented and truly depends on meaningful experiences. The more meaningful or the more fun we have, the faster time seems to travel. And this, of course, the more bored we are, the slower it tends to pass. So what I believe is in stress, every minute of time is experienced as like a painful twinge. We talk about when we are in stress that we have lost time, that we have used or wasted time. In stress, it's, oh, I don't have enough time, I need more time. Oh, it's too much, it's too fast, it's too slow. We experience time as something negative.
Okay. Do you see the like half-bornness of the extroverted intuition there? He's trying to. I want to replay this last like 12 seconds or so from 3 minutes or so.
Time that we have used or wasted time.
I'm gonna go back a little further, about 2:45.
We are, the slower it tends to pass. So, what I believe is in stress, every minute of time is experienced as like a painful twinge. We talk about when we are in stress that we have lost time, that we have used or wasted time. In stress, it's, oh, I don't have enough time, I need more time. Oh, it's too much, it's too fast, it's too slow.
Okay, so he's like trying to come up with on the fly the I guess you'd call it the expansion part for the basic idea, which is that under stress we experience a time dimension to stress, right? But when he's coming up with a bunch of ideation in support of that idea, he goes, because we'll be like, I need more time. Or if we're stressed, we'll say, I'm out of time. Or time would be good. More time would be nice. It's like he's not really giving us any ideational vigor. He's moving. Well, I want to actually figure out exactly what it is he says here. So it's
that's like a painful twinge. We talk about when we are
we
in
talk
stress
about
that we have lost
in stress
time, that
we have
used
lost
or
time,
wasted time.
that we've wasted
in
time.
Stress, it's, oh, I don't have enough time.
I don't have enough time. I need more time.
It's too much. It's too fast.
It's too much.
Slow.
It's too fast. It's too slow.
We experience time as something negative, something that can be used up or wasted or thrown away.
Okay, so he said we don't have enough time. We wasted time, we used up time, we've thrown it away, we need more time, it's too fast, it's too much. These are basically all the same idea, right? They're just sort of different ways of saying it. And so it's like somebody who's a dominant NE user will be ideationally at risk of tangenting off the course and failing to come back. But an INFJ might be at risk of not ideating meaningfully, just filling up space. So I think that's not inconsistent with him being an INFJ. But I think that's a good example of what it looks like when you get fifth slot NE. It's serving his need for it, which is he wants his video to operate like a speech, like I would teach kids to do an impromptu speech in class. I'd say, okay, so give me a topic, pineapple. So we're going to break it into 3 subtopics and a thesis, and then you're going to do expansion on them. So you go, my topic is pineapples today, and my 3 subtopics are types of pineapples, uses of pineapples, and a personal story about pineapples. First, types of pineapples. There are so many types of pineapples. Pineapples that are big and small. Pineapples that blah, 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 right? That's like an exercise that I have students do, and what he's doing is very much like that.
Okay. Yeah, he's not going to poetry places. Just like sticking to the topic, but just like flipping it around. Yeah, very interesting.
He's just killing time in between stops on his plotted journey. Let's give him a couple more minutes, then we're gonna wrap this episode up. I think he's an INFJ.
This was an easy one.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Pretty cool.
Hey, but look, just because it seemed we both knew going in, we probably weren't going to be arresting him, but we did due diligence. That's what we got to do. Sometimes you're walking through life, but when you're off duty, you're just not applying the same sort of vigilance in your assessment protocols. In that instance, of course, you run the risk of falling into some false assumption traps. Now, in this case, we didn't, but that's why we do the legwork. That's why we follow the book. You've read the book, right?
Yeah, I read it like 3 times.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Remember 17A subsection H in particular. Just keep that one in mind. It'll save your ass. All right, let's go to about 5 minutes on this, and we're gonna wrap it up with the last comment. So here we go, Eric. Tell us more about your ideas about time.
But in flow, I think that all that goes away. So different personality types experience time differently. Now, as a simplification, you can say that true judging types believe time is something that can be organized, arranged, straight their line from this point to that point to that point. Time has a direction, shape, and a place it is going towards, it headed towards. Perceivers, however, see time as something that can be bent and adjusted and played with. When you say we meet up at 4, 4 can mean anything. It can mean 4:15. It can mean 3:45. It can mean 4 the next day. It can mean different things. Time is never set in stone. Time can go anywhere at any moment. Time can go this way and suddenly that way and that way.
This is all just nonsense.
Time cannot be controlled.
He's not saying anything meaningful. I don't buy this shit.
We can try, but it will only bring us stress.
And once again, his NE is so uninteresting.
Time, interestingly enough, is something that can be conserved.
That's not normal for INFJs,
That's
actually.
kind of an interesting notion,
but let me pause them for a second.
Time can be conserved and hold back.
All right, so here's the thing. Here's my read on this. He's phoning this in. He's phoning this shit in. He can do better. He could do a lot better.
You think he's phoning it in?
Yeah, I think he's phoning it in. Well, I mean, who's ever told him your ideation here is kind of weak? I have before. and nobody else. I guarantee you, nobody tells him that shit. Because why? He's an INFJ. He's the master of getting everybody to perceive him as wise and insightful and whatever. But there's not much insight in this video. Most of what he's saying is bullshit, Erik Thor. It's bullshit. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like he's saying simple things like in an elaborate way, in a way that sounds really.
I'm sure it's very appealing to people who are simply interested in the glossy sheen of intellectualism.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a glossy sheen, but shiny painted.
Yeah. I have a glossy sheen. You know who is the other species has a glossy sheen as well? It's because my skin gets a little oily. You know why? Because the moistness of my tenders dampens my insides and causes moisture to seep from my body. That's why. Would you say, how damp would you say your tenders are in general?
My tenders? What is that?
That refers to your amount of FI. Your FI can be referred to as either your tenders or your moisture. And the dampness of it or the moistness of it refers to how much it swims, how much you're swimming around in it, basically. I'm a very damp ENTP. I've got fairly active and unsuppressed FI. It doesn't make it any more deft or self-aware. It's kind of like the special ed 3-year-old amongst my functions, but it nevertheless is active and is existing in an environment where it feels mostly safe. So I would be considered a very damp ENTP. Now, what type do you self-identify as? I have some thoughts about you, but I want to hear what you say first.
I'm not sure, honestly. I go back and forth between a couple a lot, but I'm not settled on one.
I think you're an INFJ.
I'm definitely introverted. Yeah, I think that's what I am, but I'm not sure. Like, I don't feel comfortable with.
Well, I don't know for sure either. I didn't just like formally type you. That's just my gut dealing with you. I haven't really. It's my gut in my initial dealings with you. I haven't actually let you talk much yet. I've been in like performance mode and making a video and shit, right? Let's stop the video and then I want to just sort of cut with you. Maybe I'll record it too, but I'll have a better sense after that. I'll have a better sense after that. Okay, so thanks for watching Erik Thor. You get to get back into your car and drive home and tell your viewing audience the exciting tale of being pulled over by the Thai police and scolded for your lack of insight in your time video. And you'd be like, this fucking guy, you know what? That's what you should do. You should just drop the FE shit for a second and be like, this fucking guy, he can totally go fuck himself. I am so done with him rolling around here like he knows everything. You gotta, come on. Bring it. Come on. Okay, well, alright. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to eat plenty. I'm just saying for your own good, Erik Thor. Like, I want to bolster the breadth of your expression.